planning for any child's future can feel like a huge undertaking. But when your child has special needs, it's just a completely different journey. It's got its own map, its own rules. So today, we're going to dive in and really chart a course through the most critical financial transitions you're going to face.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's not the same path. It requires a whole different kind of preparation because the financial rules, the support systems, they all operate on this really specific timeline that can feel, frankly, incredibly confusing. I mean, this is the question, right? It's what every parent in this situation asks themselves. How on earth do you plan for the future when the ground seems to shift under your feet at these key moments in your child's life? Well, that is exactly what we are going to break down right now. So here's the secret, if you can call it that. The whole system, it's basically built around 3 specific birthdays. And these aren't just numbers. They are massive turning points where everything, eligibility, services, your financial responsibilities, gets completely redefined. So think of this as your roadmap for today. We're going to walk through each of these milestones one by one. We've got the huge adult shift at age 18, the infamous services cliff at age 22, and then the coverage gap at 26. Just understanding this timeline is your first big step to taking control. All right, let's start with that first major milestone. Turning 18 isn't just about becoming a legal adult. For a child with special needs, it is a seismic shift in how the entire support system sees them. This number, 18, it is a complete and total game changer. It's the moment when a brand new world of financial support can suddenly open up. But it also comes with a whole new set of rules that you absolutely have to understand. And the key that unlocks this massive change is a federal program called Supplemental Security Income, or SSI for short. Basically, it's a monthly payment to help folks with disabilities who have limited income. And how that income is calculated is what flips upside down at 18. And here it is. This is the big switch. Before your child turns 18, eligibility for SSI is based on your entire family's income and assets, and that disqualifies a lot of people. But the day they turn 18, the system only looks at your child's individual assets. For so many families, this is the moment everything changes. So the takeaway here is to be prepared. This means you should apply for SSI in your child's name basically right away. But you have to be so careful about that strict $2,000 asset limit. Any money over that in their name can get them disqualified. It's also the time to get on the wait lists for adult services, because trust me, those can be long. Okay, let's move on to our next milestone. And this one, well, it can feel incredibly abrupt. There's a reason they call it a cliff. Because at age 22, the educational support system your family has probably relied on for years, it just ends. This birthday really does mark the end of an era. All of that structured support that's been provided through the school system, it vanishes. And you step into the very, very different world of adult services. And the difference is it's stark. Before 22, your child has a legal right, an entitlement to an individualized education program, an IEP. But after 22, services are no longer an entitlement. They depend on state budgets, on what's available, and on those dreaded waiting lists. The safety net is just fundamentally different. So what can you do about it? Well, the key is to not wait until they're 21. Real transition planning needs to start years earlier. It should be part of the IEP process right around age 14. That gives you years to get ready for that shift in financial responsibility and to figure out what the right adult programs even are. Okay, let's get to our final milestone, and this one revolves around one of the most critical things for any of us, healthcare. Because at age 26, another one of those familiar support systems is about to change. Yep, 26. It's the age most young adults can no longer stay on their parents' health insurance plan. And for someone with ongoing, significant medical needs, this moment requires a rock-solid plan. And let me be clear, this is a hard stop. The day they turn 26, that coverage is gone. If you don't have a new plan ready to go, you're looking at a potentially dangerous gap in coverage that could cut off access to doctors, therapies, and medications they rely on. And this is where you can see how the whole roadmap connects. For a lot of people, Medicaid becomes the main source of insurance. And often, that SSI eligibility we talked about back at age 18, that's the golden ticket to getting Medicaid.
This is why that early planning is so important for the future. You've got to be ready for possible changes in your child's network of doctors. Okay, so we've looked at the big shift at 18, the cliff at 22, and the potential gap at 26. And I know it can feel like a lot, but just knowing these things exist is half the battle. So now let's talk about turning this map into a real, actionable plan for a successful journey. Here's a simple framework. Step 1, educate yourself on these milestones, which, hey, you're doing right now. Step 2, create a specific timeline for your child. Step 3, tailor that plan, because no two families are the same. And finally, step 4, remember, you don't have to do this alone. Find advisors who specialize in this to help guide you. And that really brings us to the most important question. Now that you have this map, just take a second to think, what is the very next milestone coming up on your family's journey? And what is one small thing you can do this week to start getting ready for it?